Wind, fire. In the last 7 days, Turkey has been pushed to the edge of a national emergency. Wildfires are spreading faster than authorities can contain them. Lives have been lost. Entire communities have been evacuated. And as temperatures rise to record-breaking levels, the situation is growing worse by the hour. The fires began in late June but escalated sharply in early July when flames swept through the forests and olive groves of Izmir province. In Sesme, one of the hardest-hit towns, over 50,000 people were forced to flee their homes. At least 2 people, including a forestry worker and an elderly resident, died. By the time the fire was brought under control, more than 200 homes were damaged or destroyed, and nearly 11,000 hectares of land had been burned. But Sesme was only the beginning. Fires have since erupted in at least 8 other provinces, including Balıkesir, Muğla, Hatay, Manisa, Karabük, Bilecik, Eskişehir, and Bursa. Driven by dry vegetation, intense winds, and soaring temperatures, the fires are spreading rapidly across hills, valleys, and farmland.
Cano! Gel böyle ya. Gel birader. Geldi, Latif Hanım mahallesine kadar geldi arkadaşlar. Geldi, Allah yardımcısı olsun buradaki evin. Orman evi gitti şu anda. Orman evi yanıyor. Mahalleyi boşalttırıyoruz şu anda. Kaç kurtarın kendinizi, kaçın. Evet, Latif Hanım mahallesine kadar indi ateş arkadaşlar.
Emergency services are stretched thin. In Karabük, 10 villages have been fully evacuated, including areas near the historic town of Safranbolu, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. What was once green forest is now reduced to scorched earth. The sky hangs low with smoke, and entire ridgelines are still smoldering. On July 23rd, disaster struck in Eskişehir province. A sudden shift in wind direction trapped a team of firefighters and rescue workers inside a narrow valley. 10 responders, including volunteers from the National AKUT team, were killed in a matter of minutes. 14 others were seriously injured. The loss has been described by officials as one of the worst tragedies in Turkey's firefighting history. Just 2 days later, another blow came. On July 25th, the southeastern town of Sirnak recorded a temperature of 50.5 degrees Celsius, the highest ever measured in Turkish history. 132 weather stations across the country registered new July temperature records, with conditions remaining dangerously hot in almost every province. Experts say the heat is accelerating fire activity, making new flare-ups more likely and containment more difficult. On July 27th, flames reached the outskirts of Bursa, Turkey's 4th largest city. Authorities quickly evacuated over 1,700 people from surrounding neighborhoods. The Ankara-Bursa highway was shut down as flames pushed closer to major roads. At least 3,000 hectares of land around the city have been consumed. In response, nearly 2,000 firefighters were deployed in the Bursa region alone, backed by aircraft and helicopters operating non-stop in an attempt to control the advancing fire lines. Nationwide, over 25,000 emergency personnel are currently mobilized. On July 27th alone, teams were fighting 84 separate wildfires across the country. Officials from the Ministry of Agriculture and Forestry have called the situation borderline unmanageable, citing extreme heat, dry vegetation, and rapidly shifting winds as key factors. In total, at least 13 people have been confirmed dead this wildfire season, including the 10 killed in Eskişehir. Dozens more are injured, and at least 300 homes are either completely destroyed or no longer livable. The Turkish government has declared disaster zones in several provinces and is accelerating aid shipments. These include temporary housing units, medical assistance, and financial support for displaced families. Meanwhile, legal investigations have begun in 33 provinces. Authorities are currently examining 97 individuals for possible links to fire outbreaks. While some cases appear to involve negligence, others are being reviewed for potential acts of arson. The Interior Ministry has not ruled out deliberate causes in several fires under investigation. Across the country, public anger is rising. Civil society groups and opposition leaders are calling for accountability. Arguing that much of the destruction could have been prevented with better equipment, earlier detection systems, and stronger investment in firefighting infrastructure. Critics point to outdated aerial units, limited early warning technology, and a lack of training in rural areas. Some say that decades of poor forest management are now revealing their cost. As of today, July 27th, Turkey is facing one of its most severe wildfire disasters in recent memory. With temperatures expected to remain high, winds unstable, and vegetation extremely flammable, the risk is far from over. Across the hillsides and valleys of western Turkey, the battle against fire continues. Stay alert. Stay safe. This is a crisis still unfolding.
Hadi Ali sağa sola.